Paddock. Farmers and industry leaders gathered in Florida this week for the Southeastern Produce Conference, where the latest trends in agriculture are being unveiled. Plus, in Tallahassee, Florida cattlemen are making their voices heard at the Florida Cattlemen's Legislative Day, advocating for policy changes that could shape the future of the state's ranching industry. We then traveled to Nashville, Georgia to Horse Creek Winery to get a taste for Southeastern agritourism at its finest. Hello and welcome to the Paddock. I'm Shelby Peebles. According to GeorgiaGrown.com and GeorgiaAgritourism.org, fresh, locally grown produce is in high demand across the Southeast as more consumers prioritize seasonal and sustainable food options. Here in Georgia, berry farms are thriving with you-pick experiences, drawing families eager to enjoy fresh blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries straight from the field. Farmers markets are also seeing a boost as shoppers seek produce with fewer food miles, and local restaurants are partnering with regional farms to meet the demand. Experts say this trend will continue through the spring and summer as southeastern farms prepare for peak harvest seasons. For consumers, it's a win-win: fresher food and stronger support for local growers. According to Time magazine, farmers across the Southeast are turning to cutting-edge technology to improve productivity and reduce costs. Drones are now being widely used for crop scouting, allowing farmers to identify pest issues, nutrient deficiencies, and irrigation needs with precision. GPS-guided tractors and sprayers are also becoming essential tools, enabling farmers to apply fertilizers and pesticides with accuracy, reducing waste and improving environmental sustainability. In Georgia, smart irrigation systems are gaining popularity, especially among fruit and vegetable growers. These systems use soil moisture sensors and weather data to provide real-time recommendations on watering schedules, helping farmers conserve water while maintaining healthy crops. Experts say these technologies are not only improving yields, but also helping farms stay competitive in increasingly challenging agricultural market. The future of agriculture in the Southeast is looking bright. Thanks to growing interest from young people, programs like 4-H and FFA are seeing increased enrollment as students take an active role in agricultural education and leadership. GAAged.org reports FFA membership recently surpassed 80,000 students in Georgia, reflecting a strong commitment to developing future agricultural leaders. Many of these students are exploring innovative practices such as hydroponics, vertical farming, and ag technology, ensuring the industry as a whole continues to evolve with fresh ideas and solutions. With a record-breaking 1 million national members, experts at FFA.org say this wave of youth involvement is crucial for addressing labor shortages and ensuring the long-term success of agriculture in the Southeast. The Florida Cattlemen's Association came together this week in Tallahassee. Members spoke with elected officials across the Sunshine State. Devin Godby has the story.
This past week, the Florida Cattlemen's Association spent time advocating for the industry.
Today, the Florida Cattlemen's Association is at the state capitol in Tallahassee, Florida. We focus on gathering our members from across the state and visiting with the state house representatives and the senators and trying to relay our wants and basically advocate on behalf of our industry.
The event is commonly known as Boots on the Hill due to all of the cattlemen with their boots and hats having such a commanding presence across the Capitol.
We're looking to make sure they just don't do us any harm with any legislation, but we do certainly have some requests that we are always in support of. Mostly that would generally revolve around UF-IFAS and research and education in agriculture.
With all of the bills floating around the Capitol, the FCA puts their faith into their representatives.
We believe in the leadership here that, especially with Senator Albritton and Speaker Perez and many others in the Senate and the House, that they are really looking out for agriculture. We have really good friends, and they understand our industry, and they're trying to help their fellow members understand our issues, and I think they will really bring forth what they can financially. I mean, obviously, when you're trying to run a state with 23 million people, there's a lot of things that need to be funded. So we have faith in the leadership here, and we support them.
Every year, legislators look forward to the Cowboys coming into town. In the Paddock, I'm Devin Godby.
Horse Creek Winery in Nashville, Georgia specializes in bringing people together in a comforting and agricultural setting. Rebecca Council takes us to learn about their contribution to agritourism.
Agritourism is fascinating. It's not just about agriculture, but an agricultural experience. Many people don't just want to get local produce from the supermarket, but want to experience getting it where it is grown. Things such as U-Picks and wineries are a great example of this. Horse Creek Winery is a place rooted in the heart of South Georgia, with a rich connection between agriculture, tourism, and unforgettable experiences.
We certainly embrace all agriculture in Georgia.
Ed Perry is the owner of Horse Creek Winery. He was born and raised on this property and has farmed it his entire life.
Agriculture is you're growing a plant like corn, cotton, peanuts, or grapes for the resale on to the retail market. But you're in a wholesale market that you're selling to a retail market. Then the retail market would be the grocery store. Agritourism is where you actually go from the ground, from the dirt up to the consumer.
Over the past few years, consumer interest in agritourism has surged, driven by the growing appeal of supporting local farmers and experiencing farm life firsthand.
The tourist people like to come to a farm environment that live in the city and can see how this product's actually made, so they become involved with it, more personally attached than just buying a loaf of bread and not really knowing where it comes from.
But a relaxing experience to sit, unwind, and make an entire day out of it. If you or someone you know is interested in visiting Horse Creek Winery and learning more, check out their website, www.horsecreekwinery.com. I'm Rebecca Council with The Paddock.
With your markets today, I'm Mia McGurl. This week, the USDA World's Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates were released. The outlook for the U.S. wheat market calls for larger supplies, unchanged domestic use, and lower exports and higher ending stocks. On the other hand, this month's U.S. corn outlook is unchanged relative to last month. The season average corn price received by producers is unchanged at $4.35 per bushel. Global corn ending stocks at 288.9 million tons are down 1.4 million. Turning to livestock, poultry, and dairy, historically, the red meat, poultry, and egg supply use estimates are adjusted to reflect revisions in slaughter, inventory, cold storage, and production data. Total red meat and poultry production for 2025 is raised on higher beef and chicken production forecast, which is partially offset by lower pork and turkey production forecast. The beef export forecast for 2025 is raised with increased production, allowing for additional supplies in the second half of the year. Beef imports are raised on strong shipments during January and continued strong demand for lean processing beef. The milk production forecast for 2025 is reduced on lower exceeded output per cow, more than offsetting slightly higher cow inventories. Imports are unchanged on a fat basis and reduced on skim solid basis. Exports are lowered on a fat basis primarily due to lower cheese exports. As for the cotton market, there are no changes to this month's 2024-2025 U.S. cotton balance sheet. The 2024-2025 season average upland farm price projection is reduced to 63 cents per pound. Ending stocks for the 2024-2025 are lowered to 80,000 bales. We will keep you updated here in the paddock.
Farmers, industry leaders, and agricultural experts gathered this week for the Southern Exposure Produce Conference, a major event that showcased the latest trends, technologies, and challenges in the produce industry. From innovative growing techniques to consumer demands for fresh, local food, the conference is putting the spotlight on what's next for Southeastern agriculture. Peyton Coursey has more from the event.
Last week, the Southeast Produce Council held their annual Southern Exposure Produce Conference in Orlando, Florida. This allows for thousands of the leading produce producers and their businesses to come and meet with buyers and showcase their produce. Each year, they award 18 STAR scholarships to students across the Southeast who are rising stars in the agricultural industry. These scholarships allow for students to come down to the conference and get hands-on networking experience with a series of events such as the Fresh Futures Speed Interviews and a hand-picked mentor for the weekend. Here's Macy Kite, one of the STARS recipients from ABAC.
We are here with 8 other institutes across the Southeast for the STAR Scholarship, which stands for the Southeast Top Agricultural Recruit Scholarship. So we are here looking at everything in the produce industry, what all it has to offer, and if there's a job lined up for us here, then we'll be able to take it. The collegiate levels being the next generation of this produce industry, of the produce industry in general, it is very important that we instill the value and the hard work of the younger generation and that we can do it, and it is very doable, and just leaning upon each other to build each other up.
Every year, SEPC has a theme. This year's theme was Produce Means Family.
So the produce industry is such a close-knit family community, and just seeing the importance of that family and how important it is really is a great value that I will take with me forever.
Every year, SEPC has a variety of keynote speakers and panels. There's also a dedicated women's lunch and a dedicated men's lunch.
The Southern Roots Luncheon is a women's only luncheon that happened Friday. Dominique Dawes, which is a former Olympian and now a business owner and a professional mother and businesswoman, she spoke to us about the roots and how important it is to keep your family close and to keep your family your home team.
The trade show floor allows for great connections to be made and is a great opportunity for the STARS students to network with others. Macy leaves us with a little bit of advice for future STARS students.
My advice to the future stars is to take it all in, make those connections, and do not be afraid to reach out.
For more information on next year's conference and how to become a STARS student, visit seproducecouncil.com.
Hey y'all, Murphy Lassiter here today with the weather. We're looking at the 30-day temperature outlook here in the Southeast. The temperature is going to be on the rise for the month of March, in contrast to the far west where the temperature is going to be cooler than normal for this month. Moving on to precipitation. Although it has been wet over the past week, the monthly forecast for the Southeast is looking relatively normal. On the other hand, southern states such as Texas and the surrounding states are looking to be drier than normally. Finally, the soil moisture is looking to be great this month as farmers are looking to start harrying the fields and getting them prepared for planting season. And that's your 30-day weather outlook.
Today, March 14th, is known as National Pie Day. Hannah Fletcher joins us as we dive deeper into the history of apple pie.
Apple pie may be a classic American favorite, but its story starts across the ocean. Originating in England and influenced by French, Dutch, and Ottoman culinary traditions, apple pie has been delighting taste buds for centuries. Surprisingly, apples weren't even native to North America. European settlers brought them over, along with their cherished pie-making skills. One of the earliest recorded apple pie recipe dates back all the way back to 14th century England, appearing in the form of curry. By the late 18th century, apple pie had taken America by storm. The first known American recipe appeared in Amelia Simon's American Cookery in 1796, and thanks to its simple ingredients and affordability, it quickly became a household staple. By the 20th century, clever advertising had cemented apple pie as a symbol of American identity. In 1928, the New York Times helped popularize the phrase as American as apple pie. During World War II, U.S. soldiers often said they were fighting for mom and apple pie, a testament to the deep connection between this dessert and the comforts of home. Even the U.S. government got in on the apple pie love. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's American Eats program highlighted regional dishes, including Washington's famous apple pie recipe, showcased at the National Apple Pie Show. Today, Washington still leads the country in apple production, supplying about 60% of U.S. apples. More than just a dessert, apple pie is a symbol of tradition, home, and resilience. It also tells the story of America's immigrants' roots, blending flavors from around the world into a dish now deeply woven into the nation's culture. So, whether you're celebrating Pie Day with a slice or just indulging in a little comfort food, apple pie is a sweet reminder of the melting pot that is American heritage.
Well, that'll wrap us up for today. Thanks for tuning in for the latest Ag and ABAC news. From all of us here at the Paddock, I'm Shelby Peebles. Have a great week and Jee Haw, y'all.